We are about to witness the glorious resurrection of the Catholic Church. Over the past 100 years, Catholicism has arguably been the weakest it has ever been. Priests and even bishops have fallen into scandal. The divorce rate among Catholics is basically the same as the divorce rate among everybody else. Many liturgies have been practiced poorly or even abused, but all of that is about to change. Brothers and sisters, I want to share this video with you, not because I am infallible, not because I have a crystal ball, not because an angel has told me what's going to happen in the next 50 to 100 years, but because this evidence is very strong and it brings about so much hope. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how Pope Leo XIV is fulfilling a 100-year-old prophecy of Our Lady. In my opinion, it's never been a better time to be Catholic than right now. And we're starting to see that. Even major media companies are picking up on this idea that young people are being drawn to Catholicism by the thousands in dozens of first world countries. So stick with me through this video, and by the end, you may not agree with me, but I guarantee you'll see why I believe that 50 to 100 years from now, most first world countries will be predominantly Catholic. But before I show you this evidence, which I really think will blow your mind, I have to say this. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know the future. God has not revealed anything special to me. I am just a guy who's putting together the pieces and trying to see what Our Lady meant with this prophecy. But now, without further ado, let's jump right into this. I really think you're going to be amazed. Okay, so the first event we have to focus on happened in 1884 on October 13th. Remember that date. This was when Pope Leo XIII famously had his vision of Jesus and Satan talking in the tabernacle before Mass one day. Now, we don't know exactly what happened, and accounts vary somewhat, but for our purposes, what we can be certain about is that Leo XIII witnessed some sort of a supernatural event where Jesus and Satan were dialoguing. And in this dialogue, the reports say that Satan boasted to Jesus that he could destroy his church if he had more time and more power over those who gave themselves entirely to him. And Jesus responded by saying, "You have the time and you have the power. Go." Most accounts that I have seen say that Satan was given 100 years of time from Jesus in this exchange. After the Pope sees this, he basically passes out and is not in a good state. As soon as he comes to again, his first act is to compose the St. Michael prayer. If you're Catholic, you know the St. Michael prayer. It starts with St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle, etc. This prayer was composed as a response to this mystical vision that Leo XIII had. Leo XIII then commands the entire universal church to have that prayer said at the end of every low mass. So while some of the details of this story are a little fuzzy depending on which account you look at, whatever happened, it was so bad that the Pope commanded that this prayer, the St. Michael prayer, be said at the end of every single low mass throughout the entire world. After Leo XIII's vision, he then goes about spreading devotion to the Rosary as much as he can and fighting against the heirs of Russia, which are communism and atheism. The next major event we have to look at comes on May 13th of 1917. These series of apparitions that we're going to talk about are known as the Our Lady of Fatima apparitions. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go through each of these in a detailed account, but to sum everything up very quickly, what we need for our purposes is Our Lady appeared to 3 shepherd children, and she revealed many things to them. She showed them a vision of hell. She showed them a vision of a man who appeared to be the Pope being assassinated. She said that people fall into hell like snowflakes. She said the final battle between the kingdom of heaven and Satan would be over marriage and the family. She said if her requests were not heeded, then Russia would spread her errors throughout the entire world. FYI, Russia is the nation that first legalized abortion, and it is the nation that first legalized no-fault divorce. Not to mention that Russia is really the birthplace of communism and atheism in a very real way. Our Lady also said that if her requests were not heeded, that a worse war would break out during the pontificate of Pius XI, who would not become the Pope for some 15-20 years. And Our Lady promised to validate all that she said by performing a miracle on October 13th, 1917. Now, on October 13th, 1917, we have the miracle of the sun, which is witnessed by up to 70,000 people. In fact, it's the largest public miracle ever since the crossing of the Red Sea in the Old Testament. That's how important this message is. During this time, Our Lady asked for 3 things. She asked for the Pope in union with the bishops to consecrate Russia to her Immaculate Heart. She asked for people to pray the Rosary daily. and she asked for the first Saturday's devotion. Now pause real quick. You and I can't consecrate Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. We can't do that. That's actually already been done a couple times. But what you and I can do to fulfill Our Lady's request is pray the Rosary daily and make our first Saturday's devotion. If you don't know what that is, no sweat, it's not that complicated. You can take a 5-minute Google search and figure out everything you need to know. But the one prophecy that I really want to focus on that Our Lady promised in these Fatima apparitions is, in the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. And listen, right now is the best time ever to be Catholic because we are right on the cusp of that, and you and I get to play a role in that. Okay, so now we're going to fast forward a little bit to May 13th, 1981. Remember how I said Our Lady gave a prophecy about the Pope being assassinated? Well, on May 13th, once again, May 13th, October 13th, these dates are important for what we're talking about. On May 13th of 1981, a man tried to assassinate John Paul II. Now, once again, I can make a whole video detailing all the events of this, but in essence, Our Lady preserved the life of St. John Paul II. He was shot in the chest, and the bullets missed his arteries by mere inches, if not less. The fact that he survived this in and of itself was miraculous, and John Paul II attributed his survival to the intercession of Our Lady of Fatima. In fact, after he came to and after he forgave his assailant, he took the bullet that was lodged in his chest and had it placed in the crown of the statue of Our Lady of Fatima in Portugal, and as far as I know, it's still there today. We then see on March 25th of 1984, John Paul II, this very Marian Pope, this very Fatima Pope, he then consecrates the entire world, including Russia, to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And Sister Lucia said that this fulfilled what Our Lady asked for. All the previous consecrations did not. Okay, so now I'm going to explain why I think Pope Leo XIV is fulfilling Our Lady's prophecy that in the end her Immaculate Heart would triumph, and why I think that 100-year reign of Satan, where he has more power than he usually has, is coming to a close. The first thing is the name choice that Leo XIV had. Leo XIV chose the name Leo. Why? Well, I think in part because he's aware of what Leo XIII was trying to do in fighting communism, fighting atheism, fighting on these pro-life issues, as well as being a strong devotee to the Rosary. To put it simply, I think it's likely that a prophecy which began with Leo XIII would close with Leo XIV. As far as the 100-year reign goes, I realize it's not 100 years since the 1880s when Leo XIII had his vision, but there's some speculation as to when the 100-year reign of Satan began. Regardless of exactly what date you think it began, I think we are at the close of that, and Leo XIV's name is an indication of that. Not to mention that Leo XIV was elected Pope in early May, and on May 13th, his papacy was consecrated to Our Lady of Fatima. This was done by bishops in Portugal. But the strongest piece of evidence I have, which isn't even related to the prophecy, is the simple data from the studies that we're seeing right now. I have several videos detailing this, but right now we are seeing record numbers of conversions in all dioceses who have reported their numbers throughout the entire United States. Conversions are up from 2023 to 2024 and from 2024 to 2025, and that number only seems to be increasing. Right now, what is happening is Our Lady is fulfilling her prophecy that in the end her Immaculate Heart will triumph. There is a renewed fervor and devotion among Catholics. There is a renewed fire in converts. And if you want to be a part of that and you want to be on the winning team, there are two things you need to do. One is pray the Rosary daily, and two is make your first Saturday's devotion. It's imperative that you and I, as faithful Catholics, fulfill Our Lady's request. She didn't come down from heaven and perform a miracle for 70,000 people for no reason. She did that because she wants you and me to fulfill her requests of saying the Rosary daily and making our first Saturday's devotion. And let me close by saying this. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, loves you, and he wants you to come as close to him as possible. And in order to reveal the easiest way to do that, he sent his mother. And our mother asks for two things. Pray the Rosary daily and make your first Saturday's devotion. If you have not done these yet, I encourage you, I beg you, please do it as soon as possible. Do not delay. And if you want to see a video where a very wise priest explains Our Lady of Fatima to us with a little more detail, then click on this video next. God bless.